everybody. Happy early Thanksgiving for those of you who are in North America. I'm so happy to be able to do this last stream for you this week. I was going to maybe do a stream tomorrow, but I don't think there are enough stories, and I'm really focusing on getting up content for you. And that's why I'm a little late today. I was filming all my content today, and I'm going to be up pretty late editing so that I can have content for you. Tomorrow, Andor Season 1 spoiler review and a Guardians of the Galaxy non-spoiler review for the special. And then on Friday, I'll have the Guardians of the Galaxy breakdown, for the special. And then on Saturday, I have another ranking video for you. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Some of you have requested it, so you might be able to guess it. But yes, I've been working very hard, lots of filming. I changed shirts and everything. Lots of fun stuff. I'm glad you guys think my hair looks good. I've been working really hard on it. I think the bangs are kind of coming in pretty good. They're in the point where they're in my face a little bit, but I'm working on it. But it's so nice to see everybody. So let me say hi to some new members. As soon as you join a live stream or rejoin, I'll give you a shout out. Hey, Chris. Chris Jenkins, welcome. Let's see, who else do we have here? Beam, welcome back, Beam. Hey, Bubbles, nice to see you. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, too. I eat to stay polite. Welcome back. I can tell if you're new or not from your the emoji next to your badge next to your name. Roll the Bryce, welcome. Thanks for joining. It's your first time writing in the chat, Dreamer, and look at you. You're already you've been a member for 2 months. First time writing in the chat. That's awesome. And Christina, so I just want to say hi. I started a new job in New York. Congratulations! And this is the first time I've been able to catch a stream live in a few weeks. What a cool professional photo of you there. I'm sure you're killing it at your new job. Also, I see Raul. Thank you for joining. Gibson, welcome back. And Sir Friendzone. I thought I've seen that name before, but thank you for joining. David also commenting for the first time. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Mason. Roman says, finally watched Black Adam. Did The Rock really think that movie would give Warner Brothers executives confidence? Yeah, it's been rough watching what happened to Dwayne Johnson. Hey, Randall, welcome back. All right, so it's so wonderful to see all of you. You guys are the best. We have some really great stories. We're going out strong for Thanksgiving week. And I hope you all have a fun holiday planned. And if you don't live in the United States, I hope your week's going well, because it's a huge holiday here in the United States. It's really kicking off Christmas. Danny Boyd says, loved Glass Onion and Chippendales. I've seen Glass Onion. I haven't watched Chippendales yet. I'm so happy to hear it's good. I can't wait to watch Chippendales. Still curious of the exact mansion scene in Onion that Monet thought was the shot, but I know you don't want to spoil. It was running up the stairs. Danny Boyd, the shot where she was running up the stairs at night. That's all I can say, but it was great. Oh yes, and also, how can I forget, Movie Math merch debuts on Friday. The store will open at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be tweeting out a code for you to get a discount if you want to pick up some stuff for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I really hope that you like it. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. I worked with a graphic design company to design the merch, and they really did a phenomenal job. Some of you might know Scott, who's often on the live streams, worked with me on that. Scott's a good friend of mine. Logan says, finally caught a live after being a member for like 2 years. Yeah, you're a diamond, and this is your first live? Thank you. That means so much to me. It's great to see it live for once. Makes me feel like I'm really part of the community. You are, Logan. You most definitely are. All right. So we're going to get to today's 3 stories, and then you can ask me anything you'd like for the final 10 minutes of the stream, and then we'll do some shout-outs. All right? And then I'm going to have my dinner, and then I'm going to get to editing. Lots of editing. So much editing. Oh, boy. I just tell myself, I don't have to, I'll be taking off a couple of days, but yet still delivering content. So that's cool for an all-nighter. What's for dinner? I'm going to make spinach fettuccine with some Parmesan cheese on it, which is kind of Christmassy. That's right, Barbie Minaj. It's time for booping. Time for booping. All right, here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Boop. All right. Oh, poor Yann Demange. I cut his head off a little bit there. Let me fix that. Why is that not moving? What's going on? Oh, there. That's the. Can I move it? Yes. There we go. All right, Yann Demange, welcome to the MCU. I hope you survive the experience. If you don't know that term, it's from X-Men with Kitty Pryde. Welcome to the X-Men, Kitty Pryde. We hope you survive the experience. This is a huge upgrade in terms of directors. I feel a little bad, no offense to the former director. We weren't really familiar with his work, but this is a very good choice. So this is Yann Demange. He directed the very first episode of Lovecraft. The good episode. I know some people liked all of Lovecraft, but I thought that it fell off a cliff quality-wise, which was a real shame because it was on a very high cliff for that first episode. It was incredible. Incredible first episode. So he got the directing gig, and I think he's an absolutely wonderful choice. Couldn't be a better choice. Some of you have said he was once up for Bond, so that's cool. And I'm glad that he landed on his feet with a really, really good project. He's directed some other movies. He directed 71 with Jack O'Connell, which I saw, which was pretty good. It was not a bad movie. And also White Boy Rick. Hey, George. George's hilarious. White Boy Rick had Matthew McConaughey in it, and that was not bad. It was an okay movie, but nothing that would give you any idea that he would be able to direct the first episode of Lovecraft Country. But once you see that episode, you know that he really is a good director. I think that he couldn't be a more perfect choice for this project. And I think that they are very lucky that things went the way that they did, because now I'm actually, before we really weren't getting a feel for Blade, but now I kind of feel like it's starting to come together already. And, that's a great calling card, not only for the director, but now for Blade. When you're like, am I excited about Blade? And you're like, yeah, it's from the director of the first episode of Lovecraft Country. And everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. Just think about when they were in the woods, with being attacked by those monsters. Think about what this guy can do with Blade. Oh, I'm very excited. That's fantastic. And it's also great to see, more directors with Middle Eastern background getting work in Hollywood. It's really great to see Hollywood opening up to different groups. A lot of people, I get very upset when they say, oh, it's not, we shouldn't decide based on ethnicity. We should decide based on talent. I saw that yesterday when I was talking about Kareem Daniel being fired at Disney. I felt very bad about that because he's like the only executive of color at any studio of a large position. And some people were in the comments were like, oh, well, it should be based on merit, Grace. And you're like, you don't think there's a single person of color who could work at a studio? Is that what you're telling me? I mean, a lot of it is opportunity and who you know. And, I think that's a big part of it. And so the same for directing. Women have to break into these spaces too. And so every group has to break in. So I think it's really wonderful, to see that. I also heard, by the way, I'm not allowed to tell you what project it's for. 1 second, Devin. I'm not allowed to tell you what project it's for, but the directors of Ms. Marvel and Batgirl, and who are really in a bad spot after that project, Batgirl was shelved, I hear that they are in negotiations for a very good project. I'll tell you the studio. It would be for Universal. Not Fast and Furious. But if they get this, it's going to be real good for them. So I was very happy to see that they were on the cusp of a comeback. Devin says, do you think we will see Elsa Bloodstone and or a Werewolf by Night in Blade? I sure hope so. And I agree with one of you. Somebody said, take Kit Harington. Yeah, Chris Isley said, step one, kick out Kit Harington. I'm afraid that's true. He's a jinx. I would get rid of him. Gwendolyn Christie seems to be overcoming the curse of being in Game of Thrones because it's not Jurassic. It's not a Jurassic Park movie either, if you're trying to guess what franchise it is. It's like a very old franchise for Universal. That's all I'll say. All right. I don't want them to not get it for leaking, so we have to be careful. We don't want to leak them out of the gig. Thanks, Esther Day Off. Nice to see you. So anyway, one of you guessed it. If they get it, it would be wonderful. Hey, Rosso614. I would get rid of Kit Harington, although good for Gwendolyn Christie, so maybe I guess the curse can be broken. But Kit Harington ain't doing it, and I wouldn't want to risk that he did it in my movie. But I do agree that it would be wonderful to have Werewolf by Night or Elsa Bloodstone there. However, as I told you recently, I believe as of right now, the script is being rewritten. It will currently take place in the 1920s, so you'll have to think of that. Although I think Werewolf by Night's been around for a long time, so maybe that would work. But it would have to maybe be Papa Bloodstone for that. I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine for that. So, and they got rid of, I also heard they were thinking of getting rid of the little girl storyline. And Aaron Pierre was supposed to be Dracula. That Anthony Starr rumor was false. But I don't know if that's still the case because, this movie is being significantly reworked. But I'm excited. I think it sounds really good. I think it would be tough to fail Yann Demange directing Blade. And I hope that Mahershala Ali, he sent the script back. He was like, this is garbage. I'm not making this. If only more Marvel talent would do that. So I feel good about that. I feel really good. Raphael says, could the positive portrayal of Muslims have hurt Ms. Marvel, Black Adam, and Moon Knight? Could Blade be in danger too because of audience bias? No, I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. And that's why it's important for people to watch other people's stories and for different types of characters to be in blockbusters to break down these biases. But, Moon Knight did pretty good. Obi-Wan did about the same viewership, and there's nothing anybody could be offended about with that show besides the quality of it. So I don't think so. I think it's a quality issue. I think, it's not, I think audiences want to be entertained. And for the most part, they can get over anything if you give them a good enough carrot, to be honest with you. I feel that's why movies are so important because, movies can break down these barriers because of that. So I'm very excited. All right. So that's the first story of the day. Second story of the day, Jimmy Cameron. You gotta love James Cameron. He's crazy. He's a snack and a half. All right, so somebody asked me if this headline was true today. So I thought I'd cover it because I thought it made for a pretty good, interesting live stream story. So Jimmy Cameron's going around saying that if Avatar 2 is gonna break even, it has to be the 4th or 5th highest grossing movie of all time. That's the only way it's going to break even. And the headline was, if it doesn't make $2 billion, it's going to flop. So if you actually look beyond the headline and they said, hey, James, how much did it cost to make the movie? And he said, I'm not telling you. And they're like, okay. Well, that's how we would determine what it took to break even. And he was like, I'm telling you what it takes to break even. $2 billion. And I think it's just Jimmy Cameron chalking up the movie and trying to make it a big deal, to be honest with you. I think he's like, I think he's just trying to be like, you better all go see this because that's how we're going to get Avatar 3. I think that, I think if it makes $1 billion, it'll be fine. Okay? I think that'll be just fine. Mark Burns says, hi, Grace. I wish Mark Hamill threw The Last Jedi in the trash and said, I'm not doing this. He tried to. That's right. He kind of threw it a lot of shade on Twitter, but he still showed up to film it. That's funny. That's very funny. That's interesting. A study in who felt they had the capital to pull that off. Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker. All right, yeah, that's right. That's right, Keith. They already filmed Avatar 3. So what's he crying about? I think James Cameron, the real reason it took 12 years or something to make another Avatar movie is that he's really nervous about falling short of the original because it's an impossibly high bar. And it's like, you just have to rip that Band-Aid off, Jimmy. So I don't think it's going to make as much as the other Avatar. We'll see. Tickets sold pretty well. There wasn't very much interest in this trailer. Hardly anybody covered it because I didn't even bother because I was like, you don't need another trailer. You had 2. 2 was enough. And I saw this third trailer and I was like, you didn't need it. But the reason very few people covered it is it was the same damn issue from the last trailer that you saw Real Rejects covering. So I can't believe that wasn't fixed after that happened. Nothing was done to take care of that dilemma. But yeah, it was the exact same problem. So you're seeing very little coverage for Avatar online because of that. But as for how the movie does, let's see. So I have some dates for you. So the social media embargo lifts December 6th in the evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be seeing it a little later after that, but I will tweet that evening. Then the review embargo, this to me was interesting. This lifts December 13th. The review embargo lifts 12 p.m. noon, December 13th, Eastern Standard Time. So that's very interesting. I think that's a little close, but most Disney Marvel movies are that way too these days. But that's a little close on the. I think I would want the embargo date to be a little further out because I think a lot of people are iffy on whether or not they want to see this movie. But hopefully we'll see. I mean, who here has tickets for Avatar 2? I did buy some tickets, although everyone in my family said they didn't want to go. I was like, I've got tickets for us. And they were like, we don't want to go. I see a lot of you don't have them. And I was like, well, I'm going to get the tickets for you just in case, because you might change your mind. What if the reviews are amazing and you'll be stuck? Because, I want to see it in the IMAX 3D. And the tickets for that go like hotcakes. Like they went like nobody's business. I actually was able to get them because they went on sale like 20 minutes early on the app. Not for Friday and Saturday though. So I couldn't go on Friday and Saturday because that's when the tickets were going. That's when it happened. So, I will do a poll, Jerome. Good call. So I was like, I'm holding on. I have 2 nights. So I was like, I'm going to hold on to these tickets anyway, in case you change your mind. But they were like, no. Even though when I told them I had great seats, I was like, I was first in. I got the ideal seats. I got them. And they were like, we still don't want to go. And I was like, well, you might change your mind. And they honestly were like, we don't think we're going to change our mind. But they both hated the first. My family hated the first movie just like I did. But they haven't rewatched it like me. All right, so let's do a poll here. Hold on. Start a poll. Do you have Avatar tickets? Hold on, I have to type it. Do 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 do. Hold music. Do 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 do. I'm waiting for closer to release. Will purchase at the box office. That means when you go. No, we'll purchase when I go. And then of course the 4th option is not going. All right, there you go. You can vote in that poll. No, I just put, whether or not you voted. Because there's a lot of, will you buy them closer to the date? Or I'm glad you like the hold music. Or will you, buy them when you walk up? Good luck walking up to the window, though. You're going to have a crap seat. I mean, if you're going to do this, do it right. Do it on a premium screen in 3D. And you don't want to be sitting close for that boy. You won't be able to see anything. Yeah, we'll see what the Rotten Tomatoes score is. I don't know. When I watched the trailer, I was like, it's very similar to the last one. James Cameron's like, for my next act, I shall rip off myself. But, it's 3 freaking hours. So something interesting has to happen in there. So we'll see what happens. Let's see how the poll's going. You'll bet your house on it, Franco? Kate Winslet's in there somewhere. But they haven't really showed her in the trailer. That's right. Let's see how it's doing. Oh, ooh, yikes. Only 10% of you? Oh, my God. Oh, Jimmy, I don't think you're getting to 2 billion. I don't think it's happening. Oh, my gosh. We'll give it a few more minutes, like another minute. Let's see. It's going to be rough. Although, apparently, everyone who did buy a ticket bought it in IMAX 3D because those theaters are sold out. I checked this morning, and I was like, whew, crowded. Oh, Dolan, you just got them. That's great. Well, when we get to 1,000 votes, which is 6 votes away, I'll end the poll. Eric said, my friend who saw the first one said she's not going. Oh, we passed 1,000. All right, let's end the poll. Here it comes. Here come the results. There they go. 44% not going. 23% waiting for closer to release. 22% are just going to walk up to the window like a boss and say, one for Avatar, please. And then 9% already have their ticket. Oh, that hurts. Oh, thanks, Alex. I'm glad you're waiting for my review. Hey, Charlie. I'm trying to think if I will do a just saw Avatar 2 video. I have to see. I'm not sure. Maybe. All right. So that's the second story of the day. Hold on. Third story of the day. 1 second. Here we go. Boom, baby. Oh, the crazy rumors. The crazy rumors about Bob Iger. I mean, he's become a mythological creature. So Bob Iger took over, and it was revealed that they kind of like were maybe thinking of getting somebody else to take over, like from another company, like another business. But then they, for some reason, decided to go with Bob Iger. They were like, you did such a bad job choosing the last one. Why don't you choose the next one too? I think like the initial rose has worn off the bloom. Oh, the bloom has worn off the rose. And I think people are like, oh, wait a minute. Didn't he sow a lot of the seeds that we're coming to reap right now? Maybe this is not great. And so we'll see what happens. As Steven says, why does everyone forget Bob Iger was in charge of Mulan filming outside of an active concentration camp? Yeah, Bob Iger, hashtag blessed. Generation Marvel says thoughts on the firing of Kareem Daniels. They fired him because he was Chapek's guy. And also because he was a new position that Chapek created, which took a lot of the decision-making out of the creatives in terms of the release strategy. And so that I'm surprised they didn't ask Kareem if he wanted to be put somewhere else. Because again, as I said, it's very bad optics. Hey, Denzel, to fire like the only person of color who has a significant job in a movie studio from that position, to fire them. But that's what Bob Iger did. So it's weird. It's a weird situation. So let's talk about some of these crazy rumors. I mean, maybe they did 10 velociraptors, but they should have put that in the press release. They should have been like, we offered Kareem the opportunity to stay, but he said no thank you. And then everybody, I think, would be like, well, then that was his choice. Instead, it was like, whoa, cleaning out the Chapek people, eh? It was noted that Bob Chapek didn't even say anything. He didn't release a statement, nothing. And some people said they felt that was revenge for Peter Rice's firing, which was just as brutal. And they were like, how do you like the knife in the back? And Bob Chapek was like, I don't like it very much. I'm very upset. Lady Tourmaline, Kareem Daniel is an executive who worked at Disney. He was very high up. You saw him in some of the Disney Plus presentations. And his job was kind of like, he was like the hub. And he would take a look at what everybody was developing in their different areas, Marvel, Star Wars, etc. And he would decide where it should be released. Should it be in theaters? Should it be on Disney Plus? How long should it be in theaters? And stuff like that. That was kind of what he was doing. Or head of content distribution is a good way to sum it up, as Mika just wrote. And Bob Iger said he wanted to put that back in the hands of the creatives. And I'm sure that no creative will pick Disney Plus. Bob Chapek's like, why do you think I created that job? Because nobody was willing to stick their movie on Disney Plus. So I had Kareem tell him it was going to happen. Snivy Link says, here Chapek got fired to get ahead of the scandal. What scandal? I haven't heard of any scandal besides him doing an awful job. All right. So let's talk about some of the rumors that I've heard. I don't know if any of you have heard them. I don't know. It feels like people are just making up rumors, quite frankly. All right. So one I heard was that Bob Iger was going to have Disney buy AMC theaters. I think one of you mentioned that yesterday, and I've seen it going around today. And I'm like, as I said yesterday, no way would he buy AMC theaters. It makes no sense. Disney doesn't need to be in that business. They don't want to be negotiating with other studios. It would be also, they would be deciding who gets what screen. They would be like, oh, spoiler alert, our movies get all the best screens for as long as they're in theaters. They would be like, haha. And then I saw a crazy one that maybe Bob Iger, who, of course, is always like, oh, Steve Jobs was my spirit animal. That's what Bob Iger is going around saying all the time. Hey, Ryan Smith, I think it's kind of uncool after someone's passed away to tell stories about what good friends you were when that person's not around to dispute it anymore, being like, oh, we had coffee once, and I don't know why he's saying we're best friends now. But yeah, that's what Bob Iger likes to go around and do. He's like, yeah, me and Steve Jobs, man, we were two peas in a pod. That was you yesterday, Gritter Plays. But I saw a crazy story that I think The Wrap put out there. The Wrap! They're a trade. And they were like, maybe Bob Iger will infiltrate Disney and allow Apple to buy Disney so that Apple owns Disney as a company. And I'm like, no way that would ever happen. Hey, Jacob Beater, welcome back. I was like, no way. No way would the Disney Board of Directors allow another company to swallow Disney. It would be an absolute disaster. Max says, I worked at an Apple store. Steve Jobs was my best friend. We went to Junior's together and ate cheesecake. That sounds great. I saw the Junior's and cheesecake, and that's what caught my eye on your comment. I'm a little hungry right now. And I love Junior's. Although I ordered a burger there from there the other day, and I swear they delivered a raw burger to me. I was like, is this raw ground beef? And that happened to me twice. I ordered medium rare, which is what I like best as a burger. And I was like, this is just a cow with a bun around it. So I was like, I mean, I like rare, medium rare, but that was just kind of gross, quite frankly. I felt like I was eating a hunk of ground beef. And so I ordered medium the next time I ordered a burger from there. That's right, they're stupid, Wesley. Cows are stupid. And I ordered it again, medium, and part of it was good, but then another part of it was like basically rare. They have such good fries and onion rings though, that maybe if I order from them again, I'm ordering medium well and seeing what happens then. Maybe I'll even put a note that's like, stop giving me ground beef and calling it a burger. So anyway, yeah, it was nuts, but it was still pretty delicious. I like Junior's. Junior's is really good. Although they put all the delicatessens in New York City out of business. So anyway, back to Apple. That was a good rumor. That was a good fake rumor. It got everybody talking. But anyway, Disney cannot be owned by another company. It would be an absolute disaster. And for Apple to be making decisions, I mean, I think it's more evident than ever after what a mess Chapek created that you need someone who is the head of Disney who understands the Disney magic and the culture of that company. And if you don't have someone in that position, it's just a disaster. Michael Eisner even understood that. There's a famous story that the reason Michael Eisner got his job is that he was the only person who showed up for his job interview wearing a tie with Mickey Mouse on it. And they were like, oh, this guy gets it. And sure, Michael Eisner eventually went the way of the dodo as well and made a lot of mistakes too. But, for a while there, he was doing a good job. So I think that's really important. That's why Bryce Dallas Howard, as one of you suggested the other day, would be a great person because she wore that Disney shirt famously to D23. Cosmic says, I heard most of the executives, including Chapek and even Rice, were at the Elton John concert. All the executives stayed to celebrate. What a Chapek. I didn't hear that, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But that just seems crazy to me. Like, would you just turn to Chapek and be like, I mean, he must have gotten a little bit more of a heads up. I don't think that he would be there. That's crazy. I don't know. All right, so anyway, these are nutty rumors. Generation Marvel says, what about the purchase of Hulu? That's not nutty. They're going to fix Hulu. They're going to, I think that they'll buy Universal out for a ridiculous amount of money, and then Universal will take that money and use it to go purchase Warner Brothers Discovery. And all will be right in the world. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Maleka says, why would Apple want Disney? They make more money selling AirPods. Why take Disney's bloated mess? Yeah, and it doesn't fit with the brand. I think Netflix is a better purchase for Apple, quite frankly. But I think these things are too big to swallow. I think that's not the type. I mean, although I guess what David Zaslav is doing is making Warner Brothers bite size, so that a Comcast can swallow it. Pretty interesting. Danny, I'm rewatching Avatar in honor of your enjoyment of it, Grace. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Danny. All right, so let's go to the Ask Me Anything phase of this. It's 5:17. You may ask me anything you'd like until 5:27. Let's see here. Mika Tarantino says Captain America is the star, not Chris Evans. Why is Tarantino even getting involved in this? Every time I see a famous director commenting on Marvel, I'm like, why are you, don't you have the self-control to just keep on moving? Like, I think that Captain America, for this to be successful going forward, does have to be very important on its own. But Chris Evans, don't underestimate the importance of what Chris Evans brought to the table. I mean, I got to tell you, I know a number of women who are not fans of Marvel who are like, and people from the LGBT community who are like, I like that Captain America. I think it was funny that nobody ever calls Marvel on all the beefcake in their movies and shows. It's very funny. It's also very funny that they keep doing it. Steven says, did you see that Letitia Wright versus Hollywood Reporter? It is unfair to put her with men who have done way worse. She apologized. No one asked men like Josh Brolin or Paul Bettany about... Okay, for those of you who aren't aware, they did a cover story, a big story in the Hollywood Reporter talking about how drama outside of projects had put shade on those projects. And they talked about Brad Pitt and his situation with Angelina Jolie and the slap with Will Smith. And then unfortunately, they included Letitia Wright. I think they just wanted to get a woman in there. And that's the worst they could find that a woman did. So I think that's interesting. Although I'm sure some of you are like, dig deeper. But anyway, I think that Letitia Wright was correct. She was right to call them out on that, because that was very inappropriate company to be put in with. And she really said it was because she refused to do interviews with the publication and that they had some kind of vendetta against her. And so it got real hardcore real fast. I think I missed some stuff here. Hold on. Sean Miller says, we all want Marvel to slow down and focus on quality, but will they? I hope so. You know, making a lot of money is a powerful drug. It's quite addictive, and they're really raking it in right now, so it's hard. Danny Boyd says, have you ever done a movie math reflecting 4D movies? Are they helping Hollywood? I don't even know what a 4D movie is, Danny Boyd. I'll have to Google that after today's stream. And then Gritter Play says, you know who else has been wearing a lot of Mickey Mouse ties in public? Adam Aron, the CEO of AMC. That's funny. I did not know that. I think he really wants to get along with Disney because he plays all their movies there and makes a lot of money off of them. That's interesting. Maybe that rumor isn't so crazy. Thanks, Snivy You have a great Thanksgiving, too. Ryan says, who do you think will purchase Paramount? I think Netflix is a good person, or Amazon. I think, someone in the digital space who wants more legitimacy, probably. Let's see here. Keith, I did see that Avatar is on Disney Plus the day after the watch-along where we had to pay for it. Generation Marvel says, thoughts on the Thunderbolt, Sentry, and Hyperion. Well, I talked about that the other day, and I said, I pity the fool who tries to rip off the boys, because that is quite the fool. Glily Master says, I'm starting to think Black Panther 2 won't reach $1 billion. Oh, it's already at over $500 million in like a little over a week, in 2 weekends. I think it still could. Let's see. Let's see what that third weekend looks like. We'll have a much better picture this week. I mean, Jurassic World Dominion eventually got there. Let's see what Avatar is. If Avatar really sucks, that's going to be quite the godsend to Black Panther. Manuel Soto says, will Blade now be R-rated opposed to an edgy PG? I think it'll be PG-13, to be honest with you. I mean, let's see. But, it really limits the audience. I think it would be hard for them to make that R. But we'll see. I mean, they kind of got away with a lot in Werewolf by Night, and maybe they could figure out a similar way to do that here. Hey, Antonio. Thanks for joining. Devin Henderson says, with the new normal of movie theaters, do you see a future where theaters could have events showing streaming shows on large screens? Well, they just did that with The Chosen, right? Maybe at some point, but I think it would have to be for the season finale. Like Game of Thrones, series finale. Something like that could be interesting. And they'd have to make them supersized to make it worth it. I mean, we'll see. I think that's something to consider. Whelm says, I wonder which season of Game of Studios we're on. Was not expecting this level of plot twist. The Duel of Bobs is my favorite episode so far. It was quite the shocker. And then Dan Blaster says, did you see the leaks for first looks at MODOK and the Marvels? Yes, I did see them. I don't cover that stuff because the studio really dislikes it. Because, those leaks that's not how they want you to meet the character for the first time. I can confirm, though, in the live stream that all those leaks are accurate. I think that MODOK looks like that to try and hide who MODOK is, but I'll tell you that I kind of already leaked who MODOK is, and if it hasn't already leaked on a large scale, it will leak considerably before most people see the movie. So I don't really know what the point of that was. Maybe MODOK they felt would be tough to look at in live action, which I think there is certainly an argument to be made for that. Let's see. And as for the Marvels, yep, that's very accurate. I'm excited to see them in action. But I'm a little nervous about that movie. As I said, it's Bee and Puppycat, the Marvel adventure. And we'll see how big the audience is for something like that. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure I get everybody's thing here. All right, hold on. Next is Duncan Knox says, what less popular or guilty pleasure project are you looking forward to most? Ooh. I'm looking forward to Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I hear such beautiful things about it. I'm really curious to see what exactly everybody's falling in love with. So I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. Owl Watch says, I hope the first thing James Gunn does is change the DC intro. Surely they'll make a new one for DC Studios. Also, have you ever been to a Friendsgiving? No, I have not, Owl Watch. I've spent my Thanksgivings with my family, but I'm sure a Friendsgiving sounds a lot of fun, like a lot of fun. And I think it would be great to have a new DC intro. I think that would be wonderful to really show and to make it clear that we're in a new era. Cosmic says, Chapek then joined Elton John to sing Yellow Brick Road. I'm just joking. Yeah, but Cosmics, be careful. Be careful, Cosmics. Dennis Pierre says, Fast and Furious Family versus Avengers and Justice League. Who you got? Fast and Furious Family, because they can survive anything. I guess I'd go with them. In terms, like in a fun, joking way. Like in a successful way, it's Avengers. Let's see here. But, Fast and Furious movies are very successful. Alexander Wilson says, with Disney's balance sheet, I think they will sell assets before they buy. I can see them selling ESPN. No way will they sell ESPN. Or letting Hulu go. I like what you're thinking, though, Alexander, about maybe getting rid of some stuff. But I don't think, maybe they could who would buy Hulu, though? Are they going to be like, surprise, Comcast, you buy it from us? I mean, let's see. I don't know. I think that the question is, do they want to have more adult content in the Disney stable? And some people are arguing, no, they should double down on their brand. So it'll be interesting to see what Bob Iger decides. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Nope, I haven't answered that yet. Come on, Google. YouTube. You're freaking killing me here. All right, I answered that one. All right, Crown Wolf says, it seems Phase 4 was mostly about grief and healing. Do you think that could be a factor as to why some fans have tuned out? It's too close to reality and not enough fantasy. I do feel that that's probably maybe hurting a little bit of the repeat watchability for Black Panther. But I really feel it's the only movie that's been that much about grief. I thought everything else was pretty compelling. And it's like weird to punish Black Panther for being so successful in talking about grief. All right, let me see. I hope I didn't miss this stuff. Okay, let's see here. All right. I'm scrolling through because did they just make me skip again? No, okay. The system needs to be better. All right, answered that. Answered that. Answered that. Answered that. Answered that. Oh, Green Lantern's Light gifted 5 memberships. So how kind. And I think I skipped ahead, though. This thing is killing me. Hold on. I don't want to miss anybody's comment. Super comment here. Okay, here we go. Danny Boyd says, 4DX are the immersive theater chairs with shaking chairs. Oh, I see what you're saying. They don't get special box office. Nobody knows what they gross in particular. I've never done one, but I've heard people say very good things, like yourself. Paul Brady says, hey, Grace, I really want Top Gun Maverick to win Best Picture. Who would you choose if you got to vote? I would certainly vote for Top Gun Maverick for Best Picture, but I think it's too early to vote for who I want to actually win. But I think it's almost a lock for a nomination, which is really incredible in and of itself. Matt Large says, Grace, when Indiana Jones goes on Disney Plus, where in the navigation will it be? Fascinating question. Fascinating. I guess we'll see where Willow pops up. I guess under Disney proper, maybe. That's going to be interesting. Abdul says, hi, Grace. Been watching since Stacktastic, celebrating earning my subscriber diamond 2 times over. Oh, that's so great. That means 2 years. That's awesome. Thank you, Abdul. Happy anniversary to us. Let's see here. Friendly Persuasion says, in my Joel McCrea era. I'm in my Joel McCrea era. Favorite movie? I'm not familiar with Joel McCrea off the top of my head. Let me look it up. I'm sure I would know him if I saw him because I'm a big fan of classic movies. But not enough to know who Joel McCrea is off the top of my head. Oh, he did a lot of Westerns and stuff. I'm not sure. It's too hard for me to answer this off the top of my head. But I'll take a brief look at his filmography and tell you my favorite movies from them. Let's see here. Foreign Correspondent is obviously quite good. Let's see here. What are the movies that he's famous for? Probably Foreign Correspondent is the one I'm the most familiar with from him. I hope that was helpful, Friendly Persuasion. Roll the Bryce says, how likely is it that Dinah Lance movie still happens? As a Dinah fan, I really don't want this movie. I feel Margot did irreversible damage. That's a tough call. Let's see what James Gunn decides. I have to tell you, I think Jurnee Smollett is really a perfect Black Canary for him. So, there's a good chance she could stay. I thought she was good. I thought she was the best thing in that movie. Hi, Kyle Bailey. Welcome back. Devin Henderson, is there a Marvel project that you feel more people could be talking about? Secret Invasion. Raul Ortiz says, what do you think can be done to make the cinema experience better? Fell out of love with it. I just think it's better if this stuff is, the theater should be cleaner. Nobody should be talking about it. Talking during the movie, I think that stuff's the most important. Benji says, I want to hear more of your opinions on The Little Mermaid because I love it. Hopefully we'll be getting a trailer in front of Avatar 2. We're definitely getting an Indiana Jones trailer very soon, probably right after Thanksgiving, definitely before Avatar 2 comes out. And I'm hoping a Little Mermaid teaser is in the mix as well. All right, let's see here. What else do we have here? Steven says, thoughts on the last White Lotus episode? I got to tell you, one of the things that bummed me about the Bob Chapek story is that I got very distracted with all this stuff happening, and then I couldn't, and it happened while I was watching the White Lotus. So it kind of took me out of it a little bit. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I felt so bad for Aubrey Plaza. Sir Friendzone said, is there going to be a big push for Angela Bassett for getting an Oscar? Yes, I think that people think she's doing a very good job in the Black Panther movie, and I think there's a very good chance she'll be nominated. Sockley says, what's going on with Kathleen Kennedy now that Bob Iger is back? He just came back. Let's see. Her contract's up in 2024. I'd be very surprised if it got renewed, but we'll see. Aaron Thome says, do you think Coven of Chaos will make its release? They're going to start filming very soon, so I think there's a chance. Adil says, hi everyone, back from 3,000 Years of Longing, the Idris Elba movie, and Adil says, not bad. Good to know. Devin Bennett says, do you think James Gunn will keep Henry Cavill, Batfleck, and Gal Gadot? That's true. If he gets rid of Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck, he kind of can't keep Gal Gadot. I suspect that James Gunn will get his own people. But let's see. But I suspect that he will. I haven't heard anything, but that's just my suspicion. A Little Place of Wonder says, hi Grace, just went to see She Said, and I loved it. Thank you for your recommendation. My pleasure. I'm so glad that you went and checked it out and you enjoyed it. That makes me so happy. Let's see here. Did I miss anything else here? Cosmic says the former Nintendo executive Reggie Fils it would be an amazing fit to replace Bob Iger. Also, have a great Thanksgiving. I love joking around. Well, it's good, Cosmics. It's hard to tell when you're joking in the emojis, though. Masterword says, sweet little interaction with James Gunn today. Yes, that was one of the great joys of Twitter. That's why Twitter is a special place. That was very nice of him and fun to do. It was great, and I responded because I thought it was cool. And it was great. A lot of people like to put, I think on both our parts, and in many places with many people like to think that there's like personal animosity involved in these interactions, and it's just, it's just not true. I think for the most part, everybody wants to get along. And as I've said many times, I only wish James Gunn the best of luck. I would love for him to do things that are great, that we can talk about, and we can have a positive experience discussing. Tribal King says, movie math question. I'm curious, how do they figure out demographics? They do spot polling, Tribal King. They will go to the theaters, and just like they do with CinemaScore and stuff, and they will spot poll people coming out. And that's how they get an idea of who's attending. Writer Boy says, I hate that I caught the live so late. Gotta rewatch. How's your day going? Ready for Turkey Day. Hope all is well. Well, I'll tell you a funny story. My parents' oven has broken, so they can't make a turkey. And so we were like, oh no, so what are we going to do? And we thought we could maybe order the Thanksgiving dinner, but we were like, how are we going to reheat that with a microwave? And a family member of mine came up with an absolutely brilliant idea. And she suggested that we do turkey bolognese with spaghetti. And my mom grows her own basil, so we're going to put some basil in it. And I thought that was such a clever idea. And I mentioned it early because if anyone's looking for something to do for an interesting Thanksgiving dinner, we've also done spaghetti with turkey balls in the past too, but we can't do that because we don't have an oven. But turkey bolognese, I thought was a really great idea. I just heard that this morning. I was like, what are we doing about Thanksgiving dinner? And they were like, turkey bolognese. And I was like, brilliant. Can't wait to have it. And I like turkey. I like bolognese sauce. It's very good. Let's see here. Jacob, I'm so glad that you rejoined. Let me see if I missed anything else here. Devin Bennett says, I think a few actresses in The Woman King would make great choices for MCU Storm. Yeah, I think they make great choices for everything. That, I just thought Lashana Lynch was so amazing in that movie and that she's not getting more credit. Hopefully people will just, it went on wherever digital movies are sold, The Woman King became available today. Please give it a try. It's such an incredible movie. You will be blown away. Argo says, I got my ticket to watch Avatar 2 in IMAX 3D today. That's fantastic. Alawatch says, which 3 DC storylines would you like to see? I just want to see them get one storyline, and I just want to see it get better. I just want to see them have some order. Corey Allen says, I'm sorry I missed your super chat. Is Harrison Ford playing Ross's brother? No, they've recast the character, which is weird. Let's see, I have another thing here. Shadowland says the Suicide Squad was supposed to go against Supergirl, right? Yes, they were. Is that maybe where they got the idea to do a Superman character for Thunderbolt? Maybe. But again, this is just like you're just making the boys at this point, and I think that's crazy. They're even trying to cast someone who looks like Anthony Starr. Dana O'Leary says, squeak, squeak, Grace, what's the likelihood of a live-action Anastasia? I think very unlikely because the real story is so horrible. I think especially if you watch The Crown where they reenacted the killing of the Romanov family, that was brutal stuff. It's like, how they really couldn't do a Pocahontas today like they did with the animated movie because you're like, that's not how it happened. And the way it happened was actually pretty bad. So I don't think you could do that. Danny O says, will you do full Avatar coverage? I will do a review and a spoiler review. And I'm not quite sure what else there is to cover. We'll see if there's an end credit scene and if they set up Avatar 3. But I don't know if there's a ton of information. But Julie says, is MODOK and Ant-Man 3 100% confirmed? Yes, definitely in Ant-Man 3. Big character in there. Danny, I can't make turkey in the oven. My parents' oven is broken. Oh, my oven. I can't carry a turkey over to their house. And my house isn't big enough for Thanksgiving for my whole family. Jico says, Grace, when do you think we'll hear more about Peter Pan and Wendy? Hopefully, maybe after the holidays. Let's see when they're deciding to release it. Danny Boyd says, do studios even consult with the comic book writers? They do not. They don't even pay them. Forget consulting them. They don't even pay them. Oh, that's right, Present Progressive. I'm a little over here. I guess I better get going so I can get on that editing. I had a wonderful time talking to all of you. Let me do some shout outs. So just tell me what you're up to. What are you doing? What's going on? What do you have planned for Thanksgiving? What are you making? Just so I can interact with you. That's what I like to do. That's the stuff. Danny, I do miss Wanda. I love you too, Benji. Oh, Mika says, let's say what we're thankful for. Oh, that's such a sweet thing to say. I feel bad I didn't think of it. I'm thankful for all of you. Patrick says, tummy is grumbling in Toronto. Bye, Jander. Voice Inject is enjoying a jazz cigarette. I haven't heard someone refer to that to marijuana like that for a long time. That's funny. Polo Gus says, can you do a new video for MCU costume rankings? Oh, that's not a bad idea. Maybe like in January when nothing's happening. Danny says, standing Grace Randolph in the Windy City. Oh, yeah. Are you cold? Oh, I'm sad to hear you're cold. Matt, hey, Matt, coming at you from work in Michigan, eating some lasagna my wife made me for lunch. Oh, that sounds delicious. Pastor Madeline says, just almost choked on a piece of sushi. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. My favorite sushi is a spicy tuna roll. I also like a good dragon roll. Jay King says, I felt very weird this weekend for coming out of Bones and all, feeling very hungry. That's the cannibal movie, if you don't get that joke. Also, I'm thankful for you and this community. Aww. Naki Mud says, thankful for my gifted membership. Oh, that's a great thing to say. Got it on the same day I wrote my last exam of the year. Love this community so much. Oh, that's kismet. You have a great Thanksgiving too, Marcus. Let's see here. Dorothy, you were so much fun during the watch along for Avatar. Thankful for sitting in my jacuzzi. Oh, wow, Dorothy, you win. That's amazing. Are you watching this in your jacuzzi? That's awesome. Sam Makra says, about to buy The Woman King to watch. Oh, I'm so glad. You're not going to regret it. You're not going to regret it. Lewis Crickmore says, just watched Charlie's Angels again, and I enjoyed it more than previously. Yeah, that was a fun movie. I felt bad for how that went down. Alex Legate says, finishing off the end of the workday, luckily from home. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, Grace. You too, Alex. And then Darwin says, hey, Grace, wishing you, your family, and everyone in the BTT community the best this Thanksgiving. Forever thankful for your videos. Oh, thank you. And you guys are all so wonderful. Chad says, just seasoned my turkey. I'm winning. Thankful for my health in New York City. Oh, that's great, Chad. Merry Thanksgiving. I almost skipped Thanksgiving. Comic Boom says, happy Thanksgiving to you, Grace, and all my American friends. Oh, that's very nice. I am cooking something. I am making a pecan pie for Thanksgiving. It's the first time I've ever been entrusted to make it for my family. Usually my dad makes it, but he can't because they don't have an oven. So the task has fallen to me. I'm very excited about it because pecan pie is my favorite. Dolan says, cuddling with my cat, and he loves watching your videos. Aw, hey, Dolan's cat. And Mish says, hi, Grace. It's past 12 a.m. here in South Africa, and I'm doing some work while watching the live stream. Enjoy your Thanksgiving sides. That's right. You remembered. I said I'm a sides kid. I love sides. Maybe I will post a picture of the pecan pie, TJ Williams. Maybe I will. Thank you. I haven't posted on Instagram in a while because my life is less interesting with the pandemic. Let's see here. Anthony Benny says, your UK friend from afar, just washed my hair, about to eat some jalapeno hummus. Oh, I've never had jalapeno hummus. That sounds delightful. All right, everybody, I better get going on all this editing I have to do. Oh, Michael McKenna is picking up my son from the airport, home for Thanksgiving. That's what it's all about. I hope that if you're celebrating Thanksgiving, you have a wonderful time with your family and or friends. And even if you're just rocking Thanksgiving by yourself, I hope you have a great time. You know, sometimes spending time by yourself can be a really wonderful experience. You get some food that you love, you watch a movie that you love, and you have so much to watch this weekend. You're going to have a really great time. You could binge Wednesday. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff. Just enjoy being alive and being out in the world. Go for a walk. Just have a great time. I hope you have a really good time. And I really am thankful for all of you. Even beyond, I give Thanksgiving wishes to everybody here in North America, but I just love that I'm able to have friends like you guys all over the world. It means so much to me. Look, Mehul's in India. I mean, it's just so great to see all of you from across the globe and for us to talk about the stuff that we love. It's just really wonderful. All right, everyone. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. The live streams will be back on Monday. Okay. Bye. Toodles. Toodles.